What microphone do I use for voiceovers? A couple of people actually asked what microphone I use for voiceovers, and I use the M-Audio Producer USB that comes bundled with Avid Pro Tools. For about $100, it's a pretty nice bundle, and I'm very happy with the sound quality out of the microphone. That said, there are a couple of things that I'm not really fond of. One is it's got this headphone jack, and the way that the headphone jack works is as a USB sound device. So when you plug this in, it could be your sound card, which is a little weird, especially since it doesn't bother to detect whether or not you've plugged in headphones. So several times I've plugged this in, it became my default sound card, and I didn't get any sound out of the speakers on my laptop. Well, that's a little disconcerting, and if you didn't bundle headphones, you don't have a whole lot of options. One of the places that this was most apparent was in the Avid Pro Tools that's bundled with it, in that if this isn't plugged in, you don't get to use the Avid Pro Tools, and the only audio device that the Avid Pro Tools will allow you to use is the sound card that's built into this. So if you want to do mixing with the Avid Pro Tools, you're going to be using headphones or at least something plugged into this audio jack. Well, in my view, that's kind of bad form, because where I want the audio to be and where I want the headphone to be are probably not the same place. I mean, it's kind of disconcerting to be doing a voiceover and having a jack stick out of the back of it, especially if you want to be plugged into your studio speakers because you're doing, voiceover work, and then you want to play it back and hear it over the studio speakers, not because you're recording and playing back at the same time. I realize that would be bad form. But also, when you're doing voiceover work, the headphone jack generally isn't live, so it's not like when you're doing studio stuff and you're hearing it in your ear. And when I did get that working on a couple of setups, there was a small amount of delay, which kind of threw me off. When I'm working in a studio environment, the sound that I'm hearing of myself through the headphones is very, very low delay. I mean, obviously there's some because it's got to go through amplifiers and stuff like that, but it's, less than a millisecond, maybe 2 milliseconds. And with the M-Audio, it was closer to 30 milliseconds. And that was disconcerting. Like, I felt disconnected. So, it's a great microphone. I don't use it with the Avid Pro Tools that it comes bundled with very often. I actually end up using it with the Pinnacle Studio that is also from Avid, but I use it for voiceovers that way. I also use it with doing voiceovers in Extra Normal State. It's called Extra Normal State, the tool that I use for making the 3D videos. So the 3D animated videos with me with the big head that isn't actually me, it's some other guy, but he looks enough like me that everybody says, yeah. Anyway, M-Audio from the Producer USB. It's a great mic. It's a very good weight. It comes bundled with a little tripod. It comes with a nice long cord. I added it as an even longer cord. It is compatible with the Xbox if you are playing any of the games where you sing. This is a much, much better microphone than the little plastic ones that come from Logitech that are the default. So you can actually get quite a bit higher score playing with this than playing with one of those because it tracks so much better, especially if you sing in a deeper baritone. The range that this picks up is much better for those. So if you're a guy and the girls are totally kicking your butt at any of the singing games, pick one of these up and you'll do much better. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the one I use.